what comes first when you're creating music? Is it do you write like a Babyface, or was it the sound like Teddy, and then you put the lyrics on top of it?
For me, it's always been melody first.
Okay.
Yeah, like I mean, sometimes I'll start with the beats, like if there's something if it's a break beat or something that inspires me, or a certain snare kick. But I'm usually going to sit down with a piano or some type of synth patch, and I'm going to start playing chords. And and I'm going to go with chords first. Tell you what's crazy. So, all right, you know, a lot of people don't know this, right? I'm giving you like the real. I met Michael Jackson because of Teddy Riley.
Okay.
So I was at Future in Virginia Beach, and late one night, Teddy said, it wasn't late, it's probably about 6 o'clock in the evening. He said, everybody pack up. And it was 3 Quest vans out front. He said, we're going to New York. And he didn't tell anybody why. There was no reason. And he had me in the van with him. So I was in the car with him. Daryl Schuler was driving. It was me, Daryl, and Teddy. And I'm sitting in the van with him. And the whole way to New York, he's playing Michael Jackson. Off the Wall, Thriller, Dangerous. He's playing all of that. And I'm sitting in the back seat, and I'm starting to think, like, as a producer, you study who you about to work with. So I'm like, yo, is we about to go like to New York to work with Michael? So I'm like, I'm young. I'm like, you know, super young, 16, 17 years old. And I'm just like tripping. So we get to New York, check in the hotel, like 1 o'clock in the morning, we get to New York, check in the hotel. 30 minutes later, my phone rings, and it's Teddy. And he said, yo, little bruh, meet me downstairs. I go downstairs, and we drive over to the Hit Factory. And it's just me and Teddy and Daryl Schuler. Out of everybody that was down in Virginia that left, he chose me to go with him. I don't know why. He chose me to go with him, and there was Michael Jackson. And he told Michael Jackson, you need to work with this kid someday.
What?
So you need to work with this kid someday. And I was like, I was sitting there, you got to understand, I'm sitting there like, I'm looking at Michael and Teddy Michael, I'm like, yo, this is crazy. And Michael was like, really? He's like, yeah, I'm telling you. He's like, this kid got something. And I said, yeah, I'm gonna work with you someday, Michael. And he's like, okay, he kind of giggled. He's like, okay. And all I remember, like, we were there, and Michael was telling Teddy, I guess they were about to work on like stuff for history or whatever it was, which I don't believe any of that stuff went on there. And he had some crazy stuff. I remember this one particular track that he had that was crazy. I still remember it to this day. And we left, and Teddy was set up in the Hit Factory, but Teddy wasn't really focused on Michael either. He was really there focused on Blackstreet and Minivision. And I never forget, he put me in a room upstairs, this little room, and he came in the room, and this is the first time Teddy ever did this with me. I think this was the test for him to know if I had it or if I really had it or not. He came in my room, he goes, yo, so I want you to work with Minivision. And I said, oh yeah, dope. And he goes, so check it, here's the progression. And he started playing like a progression on the keys. And I was looking at it, and I said, hold on, do it one more time. And he did it, and I caught it the second time what he was doing. And he left me. And then I went to sounds that I know Teddy used because I've been around him so much. So I loaded up those sounds, and I started doing it, and I worked on the track. And he came back in later on, and I pressed play, and Minivision and Chauncey and Blackstreet, all of them were there. And he was like, yo, you nailed it. And I was like, yeah, I can't wait for you to put your hands on it. He said, I'm not touching that. He said, the only thing I'm doing is mixing it. I was like, nah, you gotta, he's like, nah, it's fine the way it is. Wow. And that's why I would tell people, if you listen to, when you get a chance, you probably don't even know this, but if you go, there's a song called Instant Love.
Yeah, no,
that's all me. And that's why I tell people I was New Jack swinging. Like, if you listen, that's everything on there was me.
Oh, I thought it was Spanky. Okay.
No, that's all. Spanky wrote it, but the track is all me. And I wanted it so bad to be me and Teddy because he gave me the chords to play.
Oh.
So I thought that I was going to lay down the foundation, get it going, and then he's going to come in and he's going to, you know, do his Teddy thing to it. And he didn't. He loved it so much. He was just like, yo, little bro, it's dope the way it is. And so that's what I'll tell people. Like, if you really look at, like, after that is when I kind of transitioned out of that style. But I was New Jack swinging it. That was, you know, that was Teddy giving me those chords. All of that was Teddy telling me exactly what he heard in his head.
Yeah, you know, I think you know, it's you know, because we a lot of people might think that yeah, because you know, for what he went through with Gene and stuff, to be able to set up his own stuff and to give other people opportunity, I don't think we can appreciate the foundation he's laid for everyone else and stuff. You know, especially in that industry, as you said, it's not an easy industry to be in and stuff like that. I mean, you'd even say about the fact that you were sitting next to the greatest entertainer in the world. Was it like shock just seeing him and actually? I mean, because you know you talked about off the wall and
yeah, but it made everything more tangible, right? Because it was like, okay, if he's vouching for me right now, which he was vouching for me a lot. In that time, he was telling a lot of people, even in New York, yo, I got this kid up here. He's only 16. Y'all better watch out for him. I'm telling you. And the reason why is because I would be in his B room, you know, and I would be creating as fast as anybody else. So you got to remember, like in that time, Teddy could do, you know, 8, 9, 10 tracks a day easily. And not everybody can do that. But I brought that type of energy and hunger down there as well. I could do it. You know, it might not have been on the level of him at that time, right? But I could do it.
Yeah.
And so a lot of the other producers would be like, yo, this kid is not playing around. Like, he's hungry. He's coming out here hungry. So that's how I got along with everybody, because they saw that passion and that determination. So to see Michael was one thing, like, whoa, this is tangible. Like, I'm sitting here with Michael, but I'm also being the king of New Jack Swing is telling him about me. He didn't have to do that. He didn't have to do that. He could have just been like, yeah, you know, pleasure to meet you, introduce him. That's all. He didn't have to say, this is the guy you need to work with in the future. He didn't have to do that, man. He didn't have to do that.
I mean, most people would.
It says a lot about Teddy.
Yeah, because most people would think if you do that, you're pretty much saying, because eventually you get better, then it's pretty much just taking away your own meat if you're doing that. But that's a powerful thing. Thanks for watching. Please remember to subscribe to the channel, but most importantly to press the notification bell so that you can be notified when we do have a new interview. Loads to come, but thanks a lot for watching.